What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we got something really special. So, if you're not familiar with the player in the bottom right, then I don't know, maybe you don't watch too much competitive TFT. This is Huanmie, and yeah, like if you're not familiar with him, I just wanted to pull up his list of accomplishments because it tells the entire story right here. 11th at the Fates Championship, wins the Reckoning Championship, 3rd at Dragonlands. Did really well at the Asian Cup in Monsters Attack Runeterra Reforged, 3rd at the regional finals in China in the previous set, 3rd to 4th Esports World Cup. His winnings, $263,000, and you know, TFT is not really known as a game where we have really big prize pools that people are just racking up crazy stuff like that. So Huanmie, in contention for the GOAT of TFT. The only reason why it's not easily him is because Title is such a beast, and so you probably have to give it to Title. But you know, Huanmie, a very close second, I would say, to Title. So one of the best TFT players of all time. And you know, the reason why I ended up watching this game in the first place, the reason why we're looking at this VOD, shout out to Clement Chu. I will have a link to his tweet down below, but he basically added me on Twitter and was like, you got to watch this game. And based on what he has said about this game, like, you know, I don't like to spoil the entire game for myself because I like to look at the decisions and evaluate them and stuff like that. But based on what he said about this game, I don't know, I'm very hyped to watch it. And, you know, Clement, I trust him. He's a smart dude. So, and he has a very good eye for, you know, entertaining and really interesting games of TFT. And the main reason why we're watching this game in the first place, you're going to see just starting from augment 1, because we have 3 options, not really amazing in this position here. This one, I always forget, I call this health as wealth, but I forget if this is health as wealth or if the other one's health as wealth. But you know, this one that makes your team tankier based on your econ, you know, we have a pretty heavy econ start here, so it's something you could look at. Build different, a decent option after the buffs to it this patch. What do we roll into? We roll into Scavenger here and Warpath here. Warpath, you know, not an augment that I really want to consider, especially in a tournament like this where this lobby is stacked. Shunga's also in this lobby. I think Liluo is also in this lobby. It's just a very stacked lobby. Yeah, Huanmie, Lituchuan, Hushin, Liluo, Shunga, Iz, or Ez, Achen, and Chitu. So some of the best players in all of China in this lobby. You have to be pretty confident to take Warpath. And then Scavenger, once again, like another augment that I'm not really excited to take almost ever. The way that the logic that convinced me that this augment kind of sucks is compare this augment where every time you kill a unit, you steal one of their items and put it onto your board for the rest of the round. Compare that to taking Support Anvil and getting an unstable treasure chest. This is basically a worse version of that because you can get the 4 items basically immediately from unstable treasure chest, and this takes like the entire fight. So I've always had explained to me that this augment, you know, kind of sucks, and that logic follows, especially when it was 4 items. Now that it's 5 items, in best case scenario, it's a little bit better than unstable treasure chest, but that's always been a really weak, you know, you're never been excited to take treasure chest out of support anvil here. So, you know, I would think you would just take build different here and play a build different game of TFT and be pretty happy with that, because I do not like any of these options here. But Huanmie, he's got a little smirk on his face, actually. He makes a pretty interesting decision here. He goes for the Scavenger, which, like I said, not one that I am ever really excited to pick up in TFT. This is just not, in my opinion, an augment that does very much, but we're going to see a pretty cool game from Huanmie, I would say. So we get our first item scavenged here, actually grab the redemption here, kill another unit, so then we grab a Warmogs as well. I mean, this was a pretty good fight for Scavenger, and then we end up scavenging a Shojin there as well. But the other interesting thing about this spot is, look at this. We won the first fight. We're level 4. We're playing Scavenger. Was kind of like it's almost like a win streak type. You want to be killing units to be procking this augment, and we have a lot of units 2-starred, but he's actually going to put in Chem Baron right now, and it's 2-2. We have a ton of upgrades here. We haven't slammed any items here, but we are fitting Chem Baron, and yeah, he's actually even just going to slam the full Hodge onto this Smeech here. So Hodge slammed onto Smeech. One really cool thing that I think that Clement pointed out about this game and just about how he played around Scavenger is what's really smart is that we're playing around Smeech with Scavenger, and the idea is that like Smeech is going to jump into the back line, actually like get a few kills, and then like grab those items from the Scavenger. I don't know, it's a really cool it's a really cool idea where, you know, Smeech is like, if he can get that first kill and kind of like start snowballing, he's going to give himself some more items and then just kind of like pop off. I don't know. It's a really interesting idea. And you see here, we're triple item Smeech, and triple item Smeech, you know, they buffed Smeech a little bit this patch. They buffed the early ambushes a bit this patch. It's a crazy board. You know, not many people are playing around ambushers as an opener, I would say. A lot of people are really down on it. We have the Chain Vest open here, so you could look at maybe like a Sunfire is a good slam, but we don't have that anymore. So we basically just have Glove here that we can take either as Steadfast Heart to just finish off an item or hold on to Glove. Because, I mean, also the thing about this spot is I have no clue what we are aiming for late game in this spot. We have 3 Chem Baron in. We're playing Win Streak Chem Baron right now, which throughout the entire set has never really been a thing. You know, I've heard some people be like, oh, you know, you can go for a win streak and then like cash out early and do stuff like that. But, you know, it's definitely not something that I think most people are interested in doing because, you know, Chem Baron's a loss streak trait. You really want to get that loss streak started as quickly as possible because damage goes up the further you get into the game. So if you are lose streaking with Chem Baron, you know, later in the game, you're taking more damage for the same relative amount of Chem Baron stacks. So that's why you don't really see people play Chem Baron in the same way that they played like Heartsteel in the past. If you guys remember, like way back when that was set 10, right? Heartsteel, people would play Win Streak in the early game and then tech Heartsteel in later because you get more stacks as the game carries on. But not the case in this with Chem Baron. It just gives you the same amount of stacks whether you're losing stage 2 or stage 7. But hey, a pretty decent win streak already here. 4 streak, potentially getting into the 5 streak. And I mean, I have to say, not that I'm 100%. I don't know, amazed by Scavenger. But there were actually, like, last fight certainly looked like a fight where we would have lost that fight had we not had Scavenger or maybe some kind of better setup here. We also pick up the Camille here, who usually I feel like is a nice unit to fit on these type of boards. Usually I'm playing around Camille plus Steb because you can get the Enforcer in that way. But we have the Trundle too. We have the Rennie who's in the board right now because, you know, we want to play Chem Baron right now. This weird win streak Chem Baron setup. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm already, I mean, I can see why Clement spotlighted this game because a win streak Chem Baron with an augment that, in my opinion, is close to maybe not untakeable, maybe untakeable but I have not taken this augment yet this set. And wow, another interesting slam here. The Gargoyle is going to be the slam here, and then scrap the other component here and make Morello's here. Morello's Gargoyle. Gargoyle, another item that I think a lot of people are quite low on compared to like other options here. We had like a Sunfire that could have been made in this position here, but we're actually not going to go for that. Going to continue to win here, and yeah, going to sell off the Camille's here to make gold here. Okay, next augment. I don't know. I can't wait to see. I mean, what if he took like Salvage Bin would be crazy. That Trait Tracker is another insane option. Maybe even it's interesting the whatchamacallits, this crit one. Oh my god, it actually is going to be Trait Tracker here. All right, Trait Tracker. I mean, yeah, you got it. You got it. I mean, this game is insane. All right, he's gonna keep the 4 Chem Baron in for now. It's not okay. Yeah, he is actually gonna cut it at this point because we're not loss streaking. So the difference. I always need to like pull up the exact numbers because I don't. I don't know if you have the exact numbers memorized for Chem Baron, then you're an absolute beast. But what's the difference between 3 and 4 when on a win streak? I mean, do you know that answer? If you do, you're a beast. It goes from 15 to 20 on a win streak here for Chem Baron. We do win another fight, so we're losing like 5 stacks per round essentially. But obviously the upside is we get to fit an Echo onto our board, which is a huge upgrade here. Another Ambusher in, just a great unit on this board. Puts the Okay, interesting team planner there for Huanmie, but I mean, I'm down to see things out. It's also really interesting itemization here, but the idea is, well, we have this augment that wants us to kind of spread our items out a bit so that we can get extra items onto everybody else. So yeah, why don't we just put a few items, just like BIS on everyone basically, and then let the Scavenger fill in the gaps. It's a really, really crazy setup. We got Cloak and Glove open here. Still, I don't know what late game carry Huanmie is looking to play for from this spot. He's throwing some Chem Baron units in here, so the idea has to be, I would say, and we're going to take the bow here for maybe an LW because we don't have Heal Cut, or we don't have Armor Shred made yet, but we'll see. Not going to cash out at this point. Going to level, wow, okay, for the Renata here, yeah, just because, I mean, it's for Chem Baron, and it's also, I mean, it's just a slightly stronger board, really, and we still get to make 30 gold with this level, which feels good. Will he be interested in making some kind of Last Whisper? He will. Okay, so we're going to make that. So we have a lot of the items covered. I don't know. I mean, this looks like if we didn't have all these Chem Baron stacks, I would say, okay, we could just play like a random Emissary game from this spot, and it would be fine, but we have all these Chem Baron stacks, and the other question is, when are we actually going to start losing? Because, I mean, if you start the game with 130 stacks of Chem Baron, and also, oh, that was actually really important. He held on to the Nami there for a potential in later. I mean, what is this board that we have team planner down? Can we look at this for a second? I can't because he's too fast, man. I mean, he puts Nami into the planner plus this. It's this plus Nami. This is the board in the team planner. 3 Chem Baron here. Chem Baron ambushers. He also doesn't even have Smeech in the team planner, which I have to assume is going to come in eventually. His idea is that the Rel is going to... The Rel and the Swain are really going to add a bunch of traits to this board. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested. But the thing I was going to talk about is the fact that he held on to the Nami. This Nami, he spent a gold to hold on to this Nami, so he's really interested in playing Nami later on this board. I don't know. I'm on Mr. Huanmie's wild ride. He also, I mean, his idea must be like, maybe this isn't the board that he's going to play later, but this is going to be the board that he's going to use to proc trait tracker. You know, just trying to figure out what the best board is for that, and then we'll actually pivot to our real board. Yeah, that makes the most sense actually. And Nami, I mean, she's a double trait unit, emissary, really easy to fit. And yeah, I mean, the idea behind Rel, Swain, and Nami allowing you to track to proc trait tracker. Yeah, I mean, Huanmie is just throwing me for such a loop that I'm yeah. But okay, so that's his ideal board for trait tracker, and then from there, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I guess I have no clue what we're going in from there. We also obviously there was a pretty crazy pickup in the shop. This is a Savika here. You could flame him for high rolling if he wasn't playing such a crazy game. But okay, we need to get this in, and we have to get Rel onto the board as well. And boom, we got Trait Tracker there immediately without losing a fight. This game we have Trait Tracker online. Obviously, we're probably going to end up losing a fight pretty quickly. He's also going to make the red buff death cap here, so it feels bad. But his thought is just, I mean, one, I want to slam items to potentially win this fight, just save as much HP as possible for my Chem Barons. And the other thing is I mean, what else are we going to make out of these components? We can't make Static Shiv. We kind of have to make Death Cap, so I think this makes a lot of sense. Huanmie, I'm a bit surprised that he doesn't actually pick this up first, just to see what his options are from Trait Tracker, but maybe he just doesn't want to mind flood himself. He just wants to take a solid option here. I would think something like this Bulwark Augment, the one that, you know, gives your board a bunch of tankiness that's also going to scale up with the HP from Chem Baron would be the idea, but we'll see here. And yeah, we don't really need extra items here. So let's see what our drops are. Amateur looks really nice. Sentinel we can also fit in. Sork is also maybe fit-inable. All right, and I mean, we do have the 6 Chem Baron in, which is the big thing here, where we can actually start getting a lot of these stacks starting at stage 4. You never see people do this, like I talked about, because, I mean, these losses are going to hurt so much more than the losses earlier, but also, I mean, we're essentially starting the game on 165 stacks, which makes things a lot easier from the perspective of actually getting there. You know, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get to that 500 stack win condition, especially because we start the game with 6 Chem Baron in as well. The downside, though, is that we're taking huge losses here. I mean, this was a 7-unit loss, I think. Well, that's another Savika. That's kind of crazy. We can maybe find Savika 2 pretty soon, and maybe we'll end up anomalying her. I don't know. Yeah, at this point, so yeah, he doesn't really care about the Rel, especially because we can just get Sentinel in with these traits that we have in here. We can get Sork in here, so Swain is gonna kind of like bridge the gap into a lot of these traits. Yeah, get the Randuins down, of course. Can get Amateur and Sentinel down as well. And Black Rose and Academy are just sitting here for fun. We really got nothing going on with those. Maybe we can pick up a Reforger down the line. And the Automata as well, actually, just doing nothing here. But maybe down the line we, you know, get like a Malzahar in. I mean, there's the world is our oyster here. There is also Savika on Carousel, but I would be quite surprised if we were to pick that up. With Cloak open here, imagine this is just going to be a tank item. Could be another Gargoyles if we have to. Oh, we're not really going to be able to get a tank item here, so we're going to have to take something like a BT. I mean, that's also very solid as an item that's eventually, I would think, going to go into Savika. Going to, of course, raise the stakes here, I think. We also pick up the potential for, yeah, I think this is, I mean, you have to continue losing here or else you're never going to make it to 500 stacks. The 3 loss is so important here. So Huanmie doing, yeah, I mean, I think this, ooh, and he wanted to actually cut out the Swain at the last second there, but he scouts the lobby and says, you know what, I'm playing down a lot of these emblems here. Scavenger, you know, I don't know how exactly he's evaluating that right now because I have no clue how to evaluate it. And, you know, I have so much power in 6 Chem Baron that's really providing me no combat strength. Why not just chill a little bit? This is, okay, yeah. That's the one that gives damage per trait you have in. He was thinking about doing something crazy with that there. This is this Shuriman Ascendancy? It is, right? After 10 seconds, gain 50%. Yeah. It's Shurima's Inheritance. After 10 seconds of battle, sword to gain 50% maximum health and 60% attack speed. Oh my god. And Are we really? Okay, we're taking it. We are taking it and putting it on to the Savika in the spot, thinking, I mean, there's so much potential with the kind of like the perfected items here. If we get anything that makes Savika last long, that's the only way you kind of lose fights, is running out of damage. And so why not just take this? It's an insane amount of damage once we get there. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's just a bit crazy because right now it's obviously really bad. If Savika does get blown up, you know, you're basically playing down an Anomaly, which sucks. Up to 400 stacks. We are gaining them at a really nice rate here. We need to definitely lose the next fight, and I guess you could cash this out, but 34 HP, yeah, Huanmie, come on. You think Huanmie is going to be a coward here? We're getting 70 per loss, right? And then the problem is we need to lose 2 still. Because 70, it's 25 per win at this, or when you're not on loss streak here. So we need to lose 2 really, unless we want to do something crazy. He does actually pick up our Reforger here, which is big here. Gonna triple Reforge, gets another Sentinel, a Watcher, and the family is a little hilarious here. I think we're not gonna be able to make use of that family here, but double Sentinel can't be bad here. Ambusher Sentinel gonna go onto the Savika for now. We do have triple removers, so we can use those later. And then I imagine, no, actually, I was thinking maybe we finish off Silco items, but it's actually quite difficult there. So we're just gonna make the Sterex here, and you know, maybe eventually Silco will get something, yeah, from our scavenger here. This is scary. Okay, we are going to lose this fight just because we don't have the damage to get the Relawi one with the Radiant Warmogs, which fair enough. Going to econ up one more round, and yeah. Oh, actually, he's going to level here and roll. Wow. I thought maybe we would chill for one more round, get 4 Ambusher in here with the Jinx. Yeah, he doesn't actually have to play 6 Chem Baron in this spot. He looks like he's still going to play it. Yeah, just because it's combat strength on this board, and it's also like a bit hard to pivot here. And just gonna move some of these items over to Jinx, and the idea that I don't know, eventually somebody to go to Savika. I'm dizzy. Even Huanmei's dizzy in this spot. We have to lose this fight, and we are losing it, which is good. We are gonna get a 500 stack cash out, down to 4, by the way. Oh my god! So every fight that he won early game mattered so much. We got perfected. I mean, perfected unleashed toxins and a Silco too, which is kind of crazy here. I mean, Unleashed Toxin statistically is one of the best perfected ones to get. I think I really think, I mean, ideally Huanmie was looking for something that he can throw onto the Savika here, but I mean, I think he can't be too upset with perfected Unleashed Toxins. It does so, I mean, all of that CC is just gross, and Savika doing a lot of work here. Honestly, this fight looks a bit scary from Huanmei's perspective, but okay, we are going to end up just clutching it out there, and a ton of damage from Silco there. There is, oh my god, that's a Savika 2 on Carousel if we can get. There's also an Ambusher +1, and yeah, he's going to grab the Ambusher +1. Who cares about Savika 2 when we could be playing 5 Ambushers essentially for free on this board? I don't know who's even getting this. I don't think are you... I mean, I guess you could remove an item. Oh, that is Savika 2, though, on 9, which is huge. So Huanmie, a genius, knowing that he was about to get that in shop, I guess. And so this is going to end up being the board. We're playing 6 Chem Baron, and the extra units that we're taking in here are Jinx as an Ambusher, Echo as an Ambusher, Elise as a Bruiser, not a Form Swapper, right? There's no Form Swapper existing here. And that's it. It's just, those are our extra units here. He was, I think, for a minute, yeah, he was playing Alawi over Elise for a little while, and then he ended up actually pivoting out, and he prefers to play Elise here, which is kind of interesting. I would have thought just the 4 Sentinel would straight up be better. I wonder if there's... I can't think of a reason why he really wants to play Elise this badly, unless there's like a Form Swapper he wants to get in. Okay, he does actually now pivot back to the... Okay, I mean, okay, and we are actually going to move Ambusher +1 over to the Silco at this point. Just saying, you know, he's going to do a ton of damage with, I mean, 5 Ambusher in, which seems pretty reasonable. And you also don't really need the red buff on him. Jinx is going to apply it really, really well as well. Okay, so this is finally the setup for Huanmie here. He's smiling because he knows. I mean, the spot is crazy. You should probably be raising the stakes here. We end up finding a Rumble here who fits in for scrap as well, which is kind of funny. We don't have a component to scrap, but hey, we're scrapping some extra shield onto the Echo as well, which is pretty cool. And also some of these, the family, the Watcher, just doing absolutely nothing right now, but I mean, they're a little bit of stats, so okay. Looking at Shiv here, just because we have no MR Shred currently, I think that makes sense. And ooh, the idea being Shiv is actually going to go onto the Silco here and then move. Oh, okay, I like it. Because, I mean, yeah, the Ambusher does fantastic work on to the Rumble here. It's also just really, really nice because you're getting that extra 5 Ambusher bonus, the 15% durability onto the Rumble as well. So, like, you know, you would rather have this on a frontline unit. And also, Rumble just, like, Silco kind of really wants the mana gen so that he's casting a lot, so that he's proccing this perfected item. Whereas Rumble doesn't really care about mana because he's getting mana just by being a frontliner. So, yeah, I love this here. Also, just so much HP stacked up on this board with the Randuins and then the 4 Sentinel in as well. I mean, this is just the tankiest board of all time. He's also super clumping right now. I'm not actually sure what for. He's super clumping. I guess just to make sure that there's no chance that Savika can get to backline here. That's the only way he's losing this fight, is if his Silco dies early and drops that perfected item. So great positioning from Huanmie, going to win a big fight there. And so we are going into potentially one of the last fights here. The top 3 is already been decided. It's 6-3, by the way. This is a pretty early, almost end to the game. But Huanmie, I mean, he sucked up so much HP by winning so many fights early. And then the loss streak obviously gave a little bit of HP kind of back to, like, quote unquote, the lobby. But then he's also just every fight after that, every fight after the 500 stack cash out has been an easy dub for Huanmie. So, oh my God. All right. That is it left as the top 2. I think I don't read Chinese at all, but I think this last player is Shunga, because I think I recognize the characters. If not, then, you know, sorry. But if so, then a final versus Shunga, I mean, it's always hype. I don't know. I mean, these are definitely my 2 favorite Chinese players to watch, because they're always doing crazy things. Ooh, and we get he took the glove off Carousel, so we could scrap it onto the Rumble, and he gets a Rumble too in this spot. So I mean, this has got to be enough, right? This is a pretty decent board out of Shunga here, just a decent Twitch board, but I mean, as well with the Victor, but I mean, just not enough. And it's an easy dub, just a beautiful game from Huanmie here. I mean, what can you say? What can you say about this game? Shout out to Clement for spotlighting this game, because I never would have found this on my own. But this game was absolutely nuts. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, Merry Christmas Eve for all who celebrate. I am gonna record this, and then I'm gonna jump in, pre-record another VOD, because I'm gonna be celebrating Christmas with my family tomorrow. But I want to have a VOD for you guys. That's my Christmas present to you guys. If you want to give me a Christmas present, I don't know, super chat on YouTube. Go sub to my my Metafy group, I guess. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Merry Christmas Eve. Goodbye.